Have you ever had a movie experience where the movie was so difficult to watch at some instants and yet so beautiful? Have you ever watched a movie that kept you glued to the screen despite not having anything big going on in the screen? Have you ever watched a movie and thought, damn, how did they even think of this story? Yes, Aamis the Ravening was a single answer to all these questions for me. Anurag Kashyap said that Aamis is unlike anything that has ever come out of India. According to the director of this movie, Amish is a bait and switch experiment where you invite the audience to experience a romance and then turn the story quickly towards a dark thriller movie. Since you are here watching this video, I'm sure that you have already watched this movie. If you haven't watched this movie yet, let me know in the comments and I'll provide you the link to this amazing movie. So here is Cinema and Art Productions presenting you the explanation of the dark romantic Assamese movie directed by Bhaskar Hazarika. In order to understand the ending of Aamis properly, one must first understand its beginning first, that is, its title. Aamis, it means non-veg or the flesh of animals as food. Ravening, extremely hungry or hunting for prey. Only after we complete the movie, we get the sense and the relationship of the title to the movie. Let us understand the movie through three concepts: monotonic life, meat, and hunger. Now, monotonic life means an unchanging life that is always constant. The lead character, Dr. Nirmali Saikia, is played by Lima Das in this movie. Her husband is mostly away from home, helping the poor in the far-flung corners of the rural Assam. She runs her practice, brings her son up almost single-handedly, and seems mostly content with the quiet rhythms of her life. Through subtext, we are supposed to understand that Nirmali had a pretty fun life during her college days, as we can understand from her conversation in the car with her best friend Rumi. However, now her life has become very monotonous. She has to do the same things every day, see the same people every day, eat the same food every day, and go to the same job every day. She meets Suman Barua, played by Argadeep Barua, a young anthropology researcher when his friend suddenly needs medical attention. Once she meets and hears about Suman's stories, she is amused by the way he is living his life. She is amused by Suman's stories of Meat Lovers Club that prides itself on his adventures and farm-to-table approach to meat eating. Suman becomes the factor that brings something new in her life and relieves her of her monotonic life. Now it's time to analyze another important factor of this movie: meat. Meat is the main item that ties everything together in this movie. It not only ties the main characters together but also moves the story forward. A small joke about trying some of the meat that Suman's club cooks as an exchange for her medical services to his sick friend leads to a quickly developing friendship between Suman and Dr. Nirmali. The story develops over different types of Amish food. They start texting each other all the time and talking about eating meat and meat and meat only. While Nirmali's best friend Jumi is conducting an affair with a younger man, Nirmali always warns herself of the temptation of physical attraction towards a younger guy with whom she is already forming an emotional attachment. Similarly, Suman is also very conscious of such relationship and respects Nirmali enough to not try anything with her. However, he gets so emotionally attached to her that he turns down both former lovers as well as professional opportunities just for the chance to spend more time with her. They get so happy and their faces light up every time they are texting each other or they get together. As the two main characters try to suppress their love for each other in a box, meat becomes the vessel for the two characters to express themselves and their physical temptations. While Suman and Nirmali are conscious enough to never touch each other, the desire of Aamis or flesh starts becoming an alternative to sex or more for them. As much as Suman and Nirmali would like to believe that their actions are dictated by reason, the film constantly makes us aware of how unreasonable and powerful the perverse nature or desire of humans are. Dr. Nirmali gets so much addicted to the tasty animal meat fed by Suman that when she has a vegetarian dinner with her husband, she raids her fridge at night, digs into a chicken leg, and gets her hand dirty while licking the chops. Nirmali, who would not even touch a food with her hands due to a mental block, does not even care about that now. Her hunger for meat has started to take over her. Suman's friend-like brother persuades him to leave the city and think more of his career instead of an impossible romance. However, Suman comes back to the city at just one call by Nirmali. Suman is at a point where he is ready to do anything for her, and that's when the movie starts getting dangerous. Suman and Dr. Nirmali almost touch each other during an intimate activity of eating bat meat. In the guilt of it, Nirmali does not even talk to Suman all the way back to the home. However, she leaned into it for a second, which makes Suman determined to touch her again. However, he decides to touch her not through his hand, but through his meat. Yes, through his own meat. He wants to go inside of her, penetrate her, but not through sex, but through meat. Therefore, he convinces his brother to cut a small slice of his flesh from his thigh for research purposes. Not realizing the true intentions, his brother does what Suman asks for. Suman takes the small slice of the meat home, cooks it well with boiled egg, and packs it in a lunchbox. He takes it to the office of Dr. Nirmali and leaves it there. Dr. Nirmali, without realizing where the meat is from, tastes the meat. She finds a taste in the meat that she had never discovered before. Nirmali literally has a foodgasm. When asked about the source of the meat, Suman says that he'll tell her about that face to face the next day. And the next day, Suman tells Nirmali that he fed her his own flesh. His own fucking flesh. This is where the movie gets very uncomfortable. Nirmali leaves the restaurant at once in disgust. She tries to vomit out the food she ate the previous day. However, she keeps thinking of how tasty it was and how she had amazing foodgasms. She says to Suman that she wants more of the human flesh. Suman, wanting to get inside of Nirmali more through his flesh, keeps cutting a part of his flesh every day to feed her. Nirmali, on the other hand, starts getting addicted to the different flavor of human meat. She gets to the point where other food or even meat starts to taste like straw to her. Now she wants to have meat, human meat, in large quantities, not in small quantities. Still, she does not want Suman to hurt anymore. Therefore, she decides to take some flesh from a body in the hospital's morgue. While Suman disapproves of the unethical method, they are almost caught and the plan at the morgue fails. Nirmali, realizing she has become addicted to human flesh, convinces Suman that once she has eaten her fill and ate a lot of meat, she will get over her addiction. Suman, realizing that it was his mistake to have fed her the meat, offers his own body to Nirmali. Yes, his own fucking body. However, Nirmali does not want him to go through any pain, so she decides to murder a person for meat. Suman takes the mission to himself and asks her to go home and wait. While Nirmali waits at her clinic for Suman to bring her the meat, Suman goes on a hunt, or in other words, Suman starts the ravening. After a while, Suman kills a rickshaw driver and starts cutting his flesh. At the same time, a policeman catches him and arrests him. After looking at the phone and torturing Suman all night long, the police find out that Suman did everything for Nirmali. The next morning, they arrest Nirmali from her home for conspiracy and murder. Both of the lead characters are now arrested, and the news of cannibalism of the doctor and the PhD student gets spread out throughout the country. At the end of the movie, we see a scene where the police have covered their faces and placed them side by side during a press conference. In that scene, Nirmali takes a step forward to touch Suman's hand, and they hold each other's hand to finally end this movie. In the end, Suman's plan of reaching Nirmali's heart through her stomach was finally successful. Nirmali did not care about society now, and she had nothing to lose. All Suman wanted to do was to have Nirmali love him, and at the end, through a very dark mindset, we are to understand that Suman has finally succeeded. But to what extent? So this is it for today, guys. Let me know if you have any video ideas for me. Don't forget to hit the like button and follow me on Instagram at Saurabh_GT. I'll see you next time, and until then, goodbye and stay safe.